Alerta! Alerta! We are declaring an internet emergency. This is Comics Covered for the week of February 13, 2019. It's a very serious thing. We're getting dark and grim.
This is the... Yes,
Ooh.
This is the grimdark reboot of Comics Covered. I have many pouches strapped across kind of every angle of my body.
Pouches?
Why?
Why pouches?
Is this not a thing that you're aware of? This is a long-running joke about 90s comics.
Ooh, okay.
We're new to this. We don't know this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know. You've been immersing yourself. It's basically this idea that, they were overly dark and grim, and also everyone needed to have 10 billion pouches on their costume.
Wow. Okay.
I knew about the dark and grim thing from the 90s. I didn't know about the pouches.
The pouches is a weird side joke. It's look up Deadpool's 90s costume, or like Cyclops' old costume, or it's just like pouches on like your thigh and pouches across your chest and pouches on your arms.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, but like for characters like Cyclops who what is he putting in the pouches?
Extra eye gear. You know who Cyclops is?
Of course I do.
He's a man with one eye. He doesn't. He does not have one eye.
I mean, there is a man with one eye named Cyclops, I'm sure, in the Marvel and DC universe.
Anyways,
this is episode 64. And last time we tried to record, which was, when we had spotty internet. That's why we're doing this late. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, apologies for the radio silence on the delayed episode. We had tech issues on our normal recording time. So
yeah, but I made the joke about Paul McCartney's song "When I'm 64." Na 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 na. So everyone should look that up because it's really popular nowadays. It's hot with the kids. But here on Comics Covered, other than Paul McCartney, we talk about comic books and the world around them, the comics industry, movies, TV, games. We'll talk spoilers about some books, and we'll warn you about them. I'm Jack. I'm still very new to comics. I'm still new to comics. But I'm here with two people who are different than I.
Well, one is very new, and one is not new, if you want to describe it that way. So I'm Samantha. I'm the new one.
Newest.
You're the new one.
I'm the newest one.
The new Samantha.
The new
Yes. You have newly
I'm the
emerged.
new woman.
You have kind of emerged from your cocoon, your chrysalis.
Right. Exactly.
And you've become a beautiful comics butterfly.
Thank you. My wings have like patterns of Marvel and DC and Image stuff all over it.
If you were a comics butterfly, who would draw the art on your wings?
You know what? I'm going to answer that next time.
Oh,
but
wow.
I actually know I'm going to answer it right now. Dave McKean.
Do you think
Dave McKean?
Dave McKean is going to draw.
Dave McKean.
Wow.
Is it McKean or McKean?
Is he Irish?
Said McKean, but I don't know.
McKean is aesthetically unpleasing to me. I like McKean better.
But it's not Kian, like Kian, which is a name, and that's how you would pronounce it. Like Keen, which is a different thing. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Well,
who are you, other man on the line?
I'm Doug. I'm. If you could consider this kind of little pocket of this outbreak of comics that has kind of happened here, you could consider me patient zero. I'm in the movie. Did you ever see the movie Contagion?
No. I saw the trailers.
It was a Steven Soderbergh movie from a while back, and it was, CDC, and there's a disease, and blah, 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 blah. And anyway, they do a very long sequence at the end. It's basically like you go backwards in time, like through people touching each other's hands and delivering their food and stuff, and you see like, oh, this person got it from this person, and this person got it from this person. If we tracked that all the way back of comics, which would literally be 3 people, it would be me.
Yeah. Beginning. But I mean, I'll take your disease whenever you give it. We just had Valentine's Day, which I like to call VD, which is short for venereal disease, and I'll take that from you anytime, Doug.
But it can't stand for both.
Well, maybe it can. Nonetheless,
all right.
Doug, tell me about your week. What'd you do? What'd you do these times?
It was pretty good. I did a lot of. I feel like I absorbed a lot of media Like I went and I saw a kind of not against my will, but I was kind of cajoled into going to see Alita Battle Angel.
Who made you see that?
It's my buddy George. He had read the manga it's based on, and I've never encountered anything about it, but I don't know. It looked like a dumb fun time. It wasn't getting good reviews, so it had like a pretty low expectation, and like I don't know, like it was fine. I was entertained. It wasn't great. It was pretty dumb at parts, but like whatever.
Okay, I find the eyes really, really unsettling.
Oh, they're horribly distracting and kind of terrifying. Do you know have we talked about the reason why Robert Rodriguez made them like that?
No.
Wait, I just assumed that was part of the character design in the manga.
No, because it's a manga, so everyone has eyes like that.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
So Robert Rodriguez said he wanted to be the first person to capture that anime eye look in live action.
Huh. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I just don't think it translates at all.
No, not at all.
No.
It doesn't.
I think it looks terrible, in fact.
It's especially strange because she's the only character like that, and it's very odd.
She's the only character like that?
Oh, well, the other, like, android or cyborgs like her in flashbacks have those eyes. So, like,
Huh.
Anyways.
Interesting. Well, that's fun. I'm glad you were able to see that. That's cool. Was it cool on the big screen at least? Like a spectacle or anything like that?
Yeah. Like, it was cyberpunky. It was a crazy sci-fi world. It was fun.
Okay,
but whatever.
Cool. Okay, very cool. So, Doug, other than seeing mediocre movies about bug women, what other things did you do this week? Like she has huge eyes like bugs?
Oh, I see the joke you were making.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, okay.
Would I be a bad joker?
We'll talk about the reason why in a minute, but so I believe we both signed up for that trial of DC Universe.
Yes.
By
the way, is only a week long.
Yeah,
the trial's only
shitty.
a week long?
Yeah.
But whatever, like it's they probably do that so you can't like watch it. It's got shows on it, like whatever. But yeah, I mean it's whatever. It's $8 a month or whatever.
Guess so. It's not that much.
Who cares? It's not that much. But like we're gonna have to pay the rest if we want to watch the rest of Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to. But while I had the subscription, I watched some of Titans. It was surprisingly okay.
Okay. I actually watched the first sequence of it. Like I watched up until seemingly Dick Grayson's first. Like he opens the suitcase with his fingerprint. That's the last thing I saw.
Yeah. The first episode is not the strongest.
Okay.
But it's still okay, and it's still better than any of the Arrowverse shows.
Yeah.
Sorry to anybody who likes those, but I also watched the first half of Umbrella Academy on Netflix.
Oh, which
is pretty decent. Like it's different, but whatever. It's
okay.
Fun. If you like the comic, you might like the show.
At the comic thing that we'll go into more that we went to this weekend, we saw some Umbrella Academy books that we were thinking about getting, but we didn't end up getting. We're going to get them later.
Gotcha. And then what else? So we talked a little last week about I was going to try out some digital stuff.
Yeah.
So I also signed up for a trial of Comixology Unlimited, which is a similar price point, but it's all comics and there's a much larger selection on there.
Well, they release new ones on Comixology, right?
Fairly new. It depends. Some series you get stuff at a slight delay, but and it's not everything at all.
Okay.
But a few books at each publisher, you can keep fairly current with within the last few months. Okay. But not widespread. But anyways, so I've been binging a whole bunch of that stuff. For some reason, it's gotten me to read a bunch more side books than I had been reading previously. It slowed down a lot on that stuff, but I got through on my iPad here. I read the first volume of Bendis and Michael Gaidos's Alias, which is the first Jessica Jones book.
Yeah.
I read Robert Kirkman, his book Invincible.
Oh.
At Image.
Nice.
Which is kind of his big thing before Walking Dead.
Okay.
Superhero book. And then I've been reading, I just started a couple nights ago, and I've been just diving real hard into this one. Sandman by Neil Gaiman and who does that early art? It's like,
how far are you through Sandman?
I'm most of the way through that first volume, which is something like 9-ish issues.
Okay.
It's like over 200 pages. I don't know how many issues it is, but I'm like 6 or 7 issues in.
That's awesome. So are you kind of you're in the first volume, like the Preludes and Nocturnes area?
Yes.
Okay.
Which I believe I'm reading. It's a little hard to tell in the digital format, but I believe I'm reading the like newer, bigger trades.
Yeah, that's good.
But anyways, I think they got the first few in Unlimited. So
what would you
I'm
say?
Looking forward to binging a lot of that.
What would you say is your opinion of like reading them in that format, like on the iPad?
The iPad I have is an older iPad, so it's a little smaller than you would maybe like, but you get used to it pretty quickly.
Do you like pinch and zoom to like?
Not really.
No.
Generally, no. I just put my face closer to it, and it doesn't really bother me. Maybe if you wear glasses or something, maybe that might not sit well with you. But like,
maybe you should get glasses, because keeping a screen right next to your face, I feel like that's
you should get those,
probably not
those blue light glasses.
Yeah, the ones we have on right now.
Yeah, from Diff Eyewear.
Wow. Okay, they're not advertising.
They're not paying us.
No. I just really like them. I was skeptical, but I really like them.
But see, we always hear the paid advertising on our podcast, so we just want to make sure that people don't think that they're paying us.
Oh, they're not
We're
at all.
giving them free ads.
Yeah.
I think
fuck them, I say.
I think I'd be buying more stuff if I was getting paid to do that.
Absolutely. Buy more comics.
Yeah, exactly.
But
anyways,
okay, so you just put it right next to your face. Do you I don't know, is there any sort of
it's not like right in front of my face. I just mean like I'm holding it like, I don't know, like an inch or something closer
yourself
than I
in
normally
the
hold
face
a book.
with it.
I'm just saying, all I mean to say is like it's slightly smaller than a comic book page, but like it hasn't really bothered me.
That's
like
cool.
I've just kind of compensated. But and I don't know, it's nice. I can it's an iPad, so I can read it in bed with the light off before I go to bed.
Nice.
It's got some nice stuff, but I've been enjoying it. I've been reading more than I had been previously. So
yeah, and Comixology might be better, because I've noticed since we've gotten this trial for DC Universe, I've noticed that they don't really have full stories on there.
No, it's kind of maddening.
They only had the first issue of the thing you were reading.
I was reading Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller, because I haven't read it in forever. They only have issue number 1. And I get it.
They have a really weird... One, they have a really weird spotty selection on there. But then 2, the stuff that they have is all singles.
Yeah.
It's only singles. In a way that's like kind of really annoying. Like I went through and I was like, oh, I think they have all the materials on here if I want to read Death of Superman. But like I looked up, so I tried to look for Death of Superman, and it's like across 4 different books.
Oh my god!
And if you were reading it on Comixology or something, they don't have it on Unlimited, but if you were to just you could buy a trade
and it would have everything
on Comixology, and you would just read it like you would read a trade.
Yeah.
But they don't have any kind of arc or collection tools of any kind on DC Universe. It kind of makes if you're just reading a run, if you just want to I want to start Detective Comics and start here and just keep reading, sure, that's probably fine. But like, if I want to read a specific story and like, they don't include annuals in them.
None?
Like, if you want to read the annuals, like, you have to go outside of the series and find the annual series.
Oh, that's so annoying.
Like, talk about making it impenetrable for new people. Like, this is your fucking service that you were supposed to have people coming for the TV and movies, get it, and then you'll have the comics there so that maybe they'll dive into it. You have to make it simple, though, for people to not be overwhelmed, because that's the main thing stopping people. Like,
Anyways, the comic stuff in there has not really impressed me all that much.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. It fills some gaps that Comixology has, but I don't know if I'm gonna. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna stick around with that, but I've been pleased with the selection on Comixology. It's pretty good.
That's really good. We had a very exciting week.
Very exciting.
Very exciting weekend, actually.
Yeah, the weekend was
the highlight. Samantha, what did we do?
We dog sat my cousin, and he was
very exciting.
Amazing 80-pound dog. Wonderful.
What is he?
I don't know what kind of dog he is.
He's a mix. He was rescued, so we don't know. But he's amazing. He wanted to just cuddle on our laps like the whole weekend. But besides that, we were staying in El Segundo, which was pretty close to Long Beach, and we went to the Long Beach Comic-Con. So that was fun.
You guys have gone to more cons.
We went to 2 cons. That's it.
Well, didn't you go to something else before that? I feel like
it was the Yorba Linda.
It's called Cal Comic-Con, and it wasn't really. It's not a real con per se. It's like, there are a bunch of vendors.
It was at a community center. It was like 2 rooms, 2 smaller kind of rooms, and they just had a lot of comics for sale, and that was all. That was
long box diving is the term I've learned.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this one was very different. They had Artist Alley, which I love from San Diego Comic-Con. Mm-hmm. So we got a lot of art. Wonderful. And
including a personally commissioned drawing of Psycho Pirates on the toilet.
This guy was great.
Oh my god, he was awesome.
Did you find out who drew it?
Yeah.
Because you could not tell me when I asked you before.
We have his card.
We have his card.
Should I just go get it right now? Why don't you keep talking about what we saw and everything?
Okay.
So yeah, what else did we see? We saw Rikishi, which is a guy from the WWE universe. And Jack can tell you more about that, but he was cool. We saw a lot of people dressed up, which was interesting to me because I've seen at San Diego Comic-Con, like, everyone's dressed up and it's a huge event, but this one was a lot smaller. Mm-hmm. And so it was kind of like no one really cared when people were dressed up.
They were just kind of there.
They were just kind of there. Yeah, no one, like, very few stopped to take any pictures.
Yeah.
But yeah, the cosplay was really good.
That's fun.
Yeah. And who was there? Didio, who is the...
Dan Didio?
Yes, he was there.
Cool.
We missed his speech, though. But
did they do like a panel of some kind with him?
He did, I think, a 30-minute talk. Yeah, a 30-minute panel, but we missed it. But that's okay. But it was great. I really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
We got a lot of stuff. There was a lot of like trades and sets and single issues, and it was just a great all-around con. Very happy we went.
J.W. Balsley.
Okay, I don't know this.
That's his name.
Artist.
The comic that they draw is Devil's Henchman. And they have a website, www.devilshenchman.com. But it was really awesome. And we all, like, I've talked about how much, I think last or 2 weeks ago, I talked about how much I love Psycho Pirate. Samantha shares my love. And we both want to see more with Psycho Pirate. So now we have more. We have him on a toilet.
And it's wonderful.
You have him on a toilet.
And he did it in like 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
A whole sketch with ink and everything. It was wonderful.
Nice.
I was such a fan. Did you talk about Rikishi, by the way?
I just mentioned he was in the WWE.
Rikishi is fucking awesome. And I watched him when I was like fucking 6 years old wrestling. Like, since then, I've loved Rikishi. He used to be my favorite ever. He would do this thing called the stink face where he'd like put his really fat butt in people's face in the corner, like just right in the face.
Oh
no! Like, they got pink eye up the ass.
I would have mentioned something if I had known that to him.
No, you shouldn't have. Oh my god, Samantha!
You should have done the stink face to him.
I should have and gotten arrested. It would have been worth it.
I'm sure he would have appreciated it.
Yeah.
You want to see my picture of Psycho Pirate on the toilet?
Yes, exactly. But yeah, it was super fun. I had such a good time. This was like my first actual Comic-Con, because the last one we went to wasn't like a regular like convention sort of thing.
It was just a different kind.
Exactly. But,
yeah,
this was
more of a mainstream kind of traditional, something probably more akin to your San Diego Comic-Cons or your C2E2s or whatever.
Yeah, and there were also like a lot of clothing companies and crochet things and like jackets. So there were a lot of like a lot of toys and apparel and things like that.
It's a big marketplace usually at those kind of things. Yeah.
Lots of like porn too.
Oh no, there wasn't lots of porn. There was one hentai section.
So that was fun.
Yeah.
This crossover. But Samantha wouldn't let me get the pinups that they draw. The really, really like luscious ladies. No, I'm just kidding.
You could have gotten it.
No, I don't want that.
Okay, well, that's your problem.
But there were also, I was surprised that there were like models there that like,
because that's the crowd for it.
I know, but I just thought that was weird and random. I don't know.
No, because people
like
noticed.
Guests?
Yeah, like they had their own booth, and you could go there and get a picture with them and get their picture signed.
Okay, right? Isn't that weird?
But they do that at San Diego.
Stuff similar to that, but usually there's enough like actual like entertainment guests that like you maybe wouldn't even notice, or maybe they just don't book those people because they have more high profile guests. Maybe. I don't know.
They did have one male cosplayer that had a booth.
Oh yeah,
they had one. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. But
I mean, he wasn't sexualized like the other ones, but
he could have been wearing a banana hammock under all that.
Oh, he could have under everything. Yeah.
Well, what you do in the privacy of your own pants is your business.
True.
Really?
If you're at a con, though, can't be everyone else's.
If you're in public, I suppose not. But I don't know. Do the four walls of pants constitute a private space?
I mean, I would say so. We call them our private parts. So the only place we're keeping them private is with the pants, right?
These are questions for the ages.
Leave it to the fat cats in Washington, right? Doug, so yeah, we had a really great time this weekend. Sounds like you had a great time this week. Yep. And one thing that I'm really interested to talk to you about is Doom Patrol.
Yeah, while we were dog sitting, actually, we watched it with the dog.
Oh, you watched it with the doggy. It was really, really great. But
yeah.
Oh wait, and we don't have like music or anything, but you could play music for Doom Patrol. I don't know. I should give you something. I'll send you something. Or
so this is the. Sorry, I'm just going to set it up. So it's sort of spinning off from the Titans show.
Is it
sorta? It's a little kind of rewriting that a little bit, but
seems like the timeline is very interesting.
Yeah, they're kind of. It's like some subtle retcon stuff happening, but like it's the same cast members other than Niles Calder. Other than the chief that they introduced in their live action Titans show, in the one episode they were in, which is still, we watched a clip of that at one point, the three of us together.
Yeah, the Thanksgiving, right?
That scene is still very weird, even in the context of that episode. But anyways, so I think it's safe to say we were both fairly skeptical.
Going into it, you mean?
Going into it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like, I don't know, like, I hadn't watched any Titans yet, and, like, even if I had watched that, I still would have probably been pretty, like, it's such a weird D-list thing to make into a show. It's got fucking Brendan Fraser in it. Like, it's the weirdest shit that this even happened.
Yeah.
But, like, it's got some actual it's got kind of a real cast in it, and like I don't know anything about the creative people behind it, but like so we watched it.
Yeah.
We watched the first episode, and
we watched it.
I'm so curious. I watched it first, and I had to wait like a whole day for you to watch it, and we still couldn't talk about it because we wanted to save it for the show.
Yeah.
I need to know how you felt.
Oh wow. I thought it was great.
It was very entertaining.
It was.
I think going into it, like you said, like I didn't know how they were going to approach it. Honestly, like I had no idea. Like, are they going to like kind of bullshit it, and they're just going to treat it like a team? Are they going to like actually like have some of the themes that they do in the comic book?
Yeah.
Which I'm so glad to know that it was a weird fucking pilot, and I thought it worked. I thought it worked absolutely. Like, I think it was so cool because, okay, here we go. So the setup is the first thing that we have, the first person that we get like accustomed to is Brendan Fraser, specifically Brendan Fraser, in a very funny position. Call me the fox. Call me the fox.
There's so many. This is such a joke I would have made like 5 years ago. Like, oh yeah, they're gonna make a fucking Doom Patrol show. Yeah, and I don't know who's gonna play Robot Man. Fuck, Brendan Fraser. And yeah, let's get like a whole bunch of fat sex scenes with Brendan Fraser up in this. Like that's what I want in that. But weirdly graphic sex scenes with Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
But
then we get like the origin for Robot Man that we think, that's been like the same thing. He was in a car, like he was a race car driver and he gets in a bad car wreck. And, that's what his memory is of at first. And that's one of the setups that I love in this show. Like they set that up exactly as the usual storyline is, and then basically they make it a story reason why it's not actually that, and it's actually he's much more tragic character because of that. Like I really like that. What would you think about that change in his character?
I thought it worked. I thought I liked that they ended up. Have we said spoilers for this, by the way?
Spoilers.
We're definitely. I'm about to like spoil a major plot point.
Yes,
specifically about what you're talking about. But like, yeah, we're gonna talk specifics about this whole show. So I was a little skeptical of it when they revealed that his whole family had died.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, do we really need to? It's already so tragic.
Yeah,
but like, do we need to like amp it up even further? Because I was really enjoying. It was like surprisingly poignant, all the stuff with him struggling back to like get his body working again, like all the like the kind of rehab center or physical therapy kind of stuff was like really well done. And so like to get that extra twist of like, oh, but you're wrong, your whole family actually died. I wasn't quite sure how to feel. I didn't dislike it, but then when they revealed like, oh, this is part of that is actually the chief is actually fucking with you. Like your daughter's still alive.
Yeah.
But she doesn't know you're alive. Is actually kind of like, I think it adds this interesting new element of like, he's going to want to reconnect with his daughter. And I think that the twists and turns to bring him there really worked, at the end of the day.
One thing that I'm concerned with is that I feel like the daughter is going to be revealed to be evil somehow. I don't know. I feel like the reason why the chief didn't want him to know his daughter was alive is a reason that he knows. You know what I mean? I feel like
but
there's...
he kind of explained
he's the fucking chief. He just didn't want him to leave.
Yeah,
I guess so. I can see that. No, but yeah, I don't know. Samantha, we've been talking for so long. Let's hear what you thought, because I'm interested. You haven't had as much. You've read one book of like Grant Morrison's run of Doom Patrol, right? So what is your opinion of this first episode?
I thought they did really well. I liked Crazy Jane, but she wasn't exactly how I wanted her portrayed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
She was a bit much at times.
Yeah,
but
I wanted her more realistically crazy and kind of like, I don't know. In the first book that I read, she was nothing like this character, really. I didn't see that, like, change in a second and swearing constantly and being really aggressive, and it was more like I don't know, like it just worked. It seemed more realistic.
I think what you're saying, I think in the book, I think a lot of times they'll have her change identities off panel, and then like in one scene she'll be a one personality, and then we'll do another scene somewhere else, and then when we come back she's like a different person. I don't think
this was kind of...
They don't really in the book have her like rapid fire, like switching between them.
And you know in the show how it had like a and she just changed with that sound and that visual, and it was just I wasn't digging that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how I felt about the like visual like effect.
Yeah.
Like I know they have like they all have powers or whatever.
Yeah.
That's part of the thing. That's part of the source material. But like they're still like the personalities themselves aren't like supernatural somehow. Was my understanding. But I don't know. Maybe this is taking a different.
I wanted to have it be more
approach.
human and more.
Sure.
Yeah.
What I think part of what you're seeing in there, which I definitely also felt right off the bat, because they introduce you to the like combative personality, the one who like is running around swearing and calling everybody out. But then they do introduce you to the calmer version, which I think is the one that you're first introduced to in.
Yeah, it is.
I don't recall exactly, but I don't recall meeting the like asshole one so quickly.
I remember the first thing in the book being her painting. I think it was her painting.
I think she was just. She was either Jane or she was the Hangman's daughter.
Yeah. Or
Hangman? Is that what it is?
I think it's the Hangman's daughter, yeah.
Yeah, Hangman's daughter. But that recreation of that scene, at least at the end there, is like, it's like whatever accuracy, like change whatever you want, but they really beautifully brought that particular moment to life.
What was it again?
I remember very fondly.
You're talking about the very last...
She's painting in the yard.
Oh yeah.
He comes out to kind of actually meet her.
Right.
And she turns into Hangman's daughter and it's like, and it starts raining on her painting and she's very sad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a thing that I don't want to spoil later things for the series, but Jack, if you might remember how this is kind of echoed later, but he puts his hand on her shoulder and he says, "Coming out of the rain."
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's a really nice classic moment from that book, and I thought they did a really good job bringing that to life.
I think even overall, like the whole theme of the show, like the structure of the plot of this pilot was, you know, we get the origin, and then the kind of conflict is them breaking the rules and going to town, and then they have each of their separate episodes in a way. And specifically about that, like I love that it was very akin to like, you know, they're
having a psychotic episode.
Exactly. Like they have mental illnesses. They have disorders that they deal with, and they are having an episode, and people are afraid of that because it's out of the norm.
Yeah. I've always thought of them. Well, Crazy Jane is specifically mental illness, but I've always thought of most of them as it's more of an allegory about disfigurement or disability.
But a disability, it could be like when you're having an anxiety attack and you don't want to lash out and be crazy, but you're feeling it physically, and you're going to show it, and you're like upset that this is coming out to those around you.
If we're talking about Rita, or maybe a little bit Negative Man, like that definitely would fit. Robot Man is definitely just like he's disfigured.
Yeah,
like or disabled. But yeah, so it's a mix. But like it's people who have been sort of damaged beyond the kind of norm that like people are used to seeing, and so they kind of, you know, they shelter themselves in their little community where they're safe around people like them. And just like in the book, like the story here, the kind of the impetus for the story is like, no, you actually need to, it's not healthy for you to do that. And like, it's good for you to go out and be part of the world, and like, fuck the world for not accepting you. Like, you're like, you're how you are, and that's fine.
That's good enough.
And yeah, like I thought that the ways in which it kind of mirrored those kind of championing of the weird themes, championing the non-normal in like those themes from Grant Morrison and Richard Case's run on Doom Patrol, like really came through in the show in direct ways that like weren't always like specific from the comic, but like definitely captured those themes and that spirit.
I really, first of all, I just want to say, I think maybe Rita's character is my favorite, actually, because and she is actually who I have the least amount of time spent with in the comics, at least, because she's not that big of a part of Grant Morrison's run.
No,
which is the main thing I've read. The other thing I want to talk about, though, is Mr. Nobody and the narration.
Yeah.
Let's talk about him.
I was very afraid going into this after the little tiny images and stuff that we saw of him.
Yeah, we got a still of one of the last shots of him in the bus.
Yeah.
Which I just want to say, like, really looked better in live action.
It did.
Well, not in live action, but in motion on film.
Mm-hmm.
It read more as like, oh, I get what they're doing in terms of like giving the idea of Mr. Nobody 3 dimensions.
Yeah.
But
no, totally.
What were you going to say about him? Yeah.
No, I really liked. I same exact thing. I think it looked better in motion. The narration at times I thought was a little weird. I mean, I guess it's supposed to be, but
yeah,
I thought the narration was helpful to it.
Yeah,
especially when they were talking about Robot Man's the sad thing that happened to him, and the guy, Mr. Nobody, says, "Oh God, this is so depressing."
Yeah,
yeah.
I just thought it helped in a lot of moments.
I can understand that, but I also can yeah, I guess it wasn't too much. It wasn't like it did still let moments be moments.
It did,
and he kind of disappeared for a lot of the episode, and then they'd kind of bring him back when it felt natural. Yeah. And I thought they didn't overdo it.
Yeah, I can see that. By the way, I just want to ask, is our idea that he comes to places where nonsense occurs kind of thing, and that's why the chief is trying to control these individuals, because if they cause a nonsense in the outside world, then
I don't think that I guess,
you know what I mean?
I don't know that he knows Morden as Mr. Nobody. I'm not sure.
And who is the donkey?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
The fart donkey?
Yeah, the donkey that farts. Donkey. What was the thing? The mind is the limit?
Yeah,
it was the thing that... Yeah, it was the thing that they had Morden, Mr. Nobody, say in the, sensory deprivation tank.
Yeah.
When he was being transformed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't want to say that this thing was perfect. It was really rough around the edges. Some of the emotional stuff sometimes was a little heavy-handed. Some of the filming techniques and stuff at times were not quite there. Some of the delivery was a little times wonky, but it was really swinging for the fences in a kind of way that I wasn't expecting. And so I'm going to overlook a lot of those flaws because in a lot of ways it feels like that crazy madcap kind of rough thing that Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol kind of was.
Absolutely.
And I kind of like it even more for that they're kind of reaching for more than they can kind of do with this.
I agree.
In a lot of ways.
I think we both agree, actually. I'm really interested. It's probably...
I definitely want to keep watching.
Yeah, it's probably the one... if nothing else on DC Universe is something I want to watch, that's one thing that'll keep me going on.
Oh, yeah. I can't believe that I didn't have high expectations for Titans, but I can't believe that I watched all three of those shows, Titans, Umbrella Academy, and Doom Patrol this week, and I came away going far and beyond Doom Patrol is the best of those, and is the one I'm the most excited for.
Definitely. So we should keep reporting on it every week, because I think it comes out weekly, right?
Yep. Every I'm not. What day did that come out on?
February 15th. I think it was Friday. Right?
Friday.
So we just watched it on Saturday.
Yes. So it'll be out every Friday, I suppose. Then.
Cool. Yeah, no, I'm pumped. Going into it, it's gonna be great. I'll figure out how many episodes are in a season. I wonder.
I've got that information right here.
It's
13 episodes.
So Netflix series. Okay.
Wait. Okay. They're gonna squeeze a few months of of subscriptions out of us, I suppose. I
mean, but I want to show them that I want more Doom Patrol and I want to support them,
Yeah, no, I will definitely pay the subscription really just for that, because I want to make sure that that they know that I was a fan.
Absolutely. Doug, do you want to talk about some news?
Let's talk about some news.
Okay, we had some news. We're just going to go kind of through them because we're really excited about, the comics we read this week too. So, we had news. There was news, stuff that happened this week. But we're going to just talk a little bit about them. So, first of all, apparently we're getting some adult-oriented animated shows on Hulu from Marvel.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, so things like, I think they mentioned a Deadpool animated thing, or was that, am I thinking of the FX thing? I'm thinking of the FX thing.
Think of the FX thing that I think got canceled.
It got canceled because it's going to be Donald. Do you know that?
No, I have a list here. Do you have the list up?
I don't have the list up. Do you want to do the list?
Yeah, I'll just go through these as quickly as possible. We have a MODOK show.
Oh, yeah.
From some, I don't know who Jordan Bloom is, but Patton Oswalt.
Oh, yeah.
That guy are writing and producing a Hit Monkey show.
Okay.
Which is a hitman monkey in Japan.
So it's like Marvel's Detective Chimp almost.
Sure. We have a Tigra and Dazzler show, which is two female Marvel heroes.
Oh yeah, and Dazzler will be the first Fox acquisition to have a thing about her, right?
I'm not sure how that applies to animation stuff.
Okay.
I think they might have more rights for stuff.
Okay.
So I'm not sure about that. But, yeah, because Dazzler is a mutant. But, there is a that show is, by the way, Chelsea Handler involved.
Ooh, nice.
as a producer.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, we've got a Howard the Duck show.
Oh, yeah.
Among the people involved in that is Kevin Smith.
Nice.
Awesome. Seth Green isn't it, is he?
I don't know. He'll probably show up. And then we're getting a Defenders style team up show between all of these called The Offenders.
The Offenders.
That's funny.
Yeah. So yeah, really, what a weird fucking thing. A bunch of like C-list Marvel characters, C or lower, are getting a bunch of like mature animated titles on Hulu. Very strange.
That'd be great. I definitely will watch them.
Yeah, I mean they have the rights to them, so why not just do it? Animated doesn't have, they can do it for a limited amount of money, and if they can get people on the ground floor, why not?
Yeah.
Get a foot in the door. Well, in terms of TV news, we also have some sadder news, but expected news. The Punisher and Jessica Jones TV shows on Netflix have been officially canceled. We knew this was coming, but the gavel came down today,
Very
Monday.
sad. But you said we will see them again, right?
We will definitely see them again.
Yeah. I think Jeff Loeb, who's the head of Marvel Television, he came out and said like, he'd be surprised if we didn't see him again. So
I don't know if
not a guarantee, but like, yeah.
I don't know if you made the connection. That television guy is the writer.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You're right.
That's the same guy, isn't it? Yeah.
Same guy. Hush, Long Halloween, a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
He's a talented
Captain America White.
Yeah, he used to do a lot of writing for DC, and then he moved over to the Marvel side.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's sad, but we expected it. I'm excited to watch Jessica Jones Season 3, which has yet to come out, and maybe Punisher Season 2 if I have time at some point.
Cool.
I'm going to see it.
I mean, I don't know. I'm less excited for that than Jessica Jones Season 3.
Well, yeah.
I'm not watching any more Punisher, but I will definitely watch a third season of Jessica Jones.
He is a really great casting for Punisher, you must admit.
Oh, he is. He's perfect, and I absolutely loved him in that second season of Daredevil.
He was great. On the DC side as well, we got Tom Taylor over here teasing his DC event called DCEASED.
So, like, deceased?
Well, okay, I want to ask about this. So, yes, it could be deceased. What if it's diseased, though?
It could be either. I'm fairly sure you wanted to ask. You weren't sure what this was.
I don't know
correct?
what it is, really.
So I thought it was at first seemed like it was just like basically like this is a telling of the end of the DC universe.
Okay.
But since then, more artwork from this thing has gotten out there. For example, like we've got the cover now, we've got a few more full page spreads and stuff. So it appears to be a zombie event set in the DC universe.
Oh.
So like the cover is Batman fighting zombies.
Oh yeah, we're looking at it right now. That's Greg Capullo then?
The cover is. I don't know. I don't think the series is. But Anyways, I'm pretty sure this is DC's answer to Marvel Zombies, which is a thing that was a big thing like 5-10 years ago sometime.
Okay.
Some time ago.
Interesting.
But it was a big alternate universe Marvel thing where characters got turned into zombies and died and ate each other and bullshit.
Huh.
But
see, I don't know. I'm not that into zombies, so I don't know if I'm gonna like this. But I like Tom Taylor. So
yeah.
I don't know. Is that enough? We'll see.
I'll probably check it out.
It depends on who's doing the art too, I think. A lot of it. So
yeah, I'm not sure who this was in the preview stuff that they put out, but
I should read that preview
anyways.
stuff too. But yeah, so that's happening. Diseased. If it's an infection thing, I'm calling it diseased, by the way. Just telling you. But Doug,
it's deceased is what it is.
You know what, Doug? I'm gonna wait to see if it's an infection thing because I'm gonna be contrarian.
I mean, it's a zombie thing, so like it kind of is, but it's deceased.
It could be either way.
Exactly, and I like
however you perceive it.
I like going both ways. It's nice.
Oh.
Sorry. As I say to my girlfriend right here.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I know.
Doug, we read comics. Did you?
Mm-hmm. Did I read comics?
You read comics this week, right?
I did.
Wow.
Yes.
We should talk about our weekly comics.
Let's do it. Cool.
Yeah. Samantha, do you want to talk about, list off what we read? What we all read, actually.
Yes.
All of us, except for one.
Okay, yes. Okay, so there was Detective Comics, number 998. Gideon Falls, number 11. Justice League Dark, number 8. The Magic Order, which was the last one, number 6. Mm-hmm. Outer Darkness, number 4. And Superman, number 8.
But Sam didn't read that
I did not read Superman.
Not yet.
Not yet. It's in my pile. I will get to it eventually.
Oh, and then we read Oblivion Song number 12 and Whispering Dark number 4, which by read, I mean we haven't gotten to yet.
Yes.
But we picked it up.
Yes.
Yes. And then I also picked up Amazing Spider-Man number 15, Captain Marvel number 2, and The Flash number 64, because it is the second part of this, The Price of Justice.
Oh yeah, it's Samantha, it is a Heroes in Crisis tie-in.
Oh, that's so cool.
You don't gotta read it.
No. Oh, okay. All right.
In fact, I would say after this issue, do not.
Oh, then I will not.
Waste the money?
I'm like, I have a sort of interest in seeing what happens in it because it's following up on like a dropped plot thread also from Tom King's Batman, but also
okay.
Yeah.
By the way, we did pick up Captain Marvel too. By the way,
it's silly.
We read it.
Oh, you did? Okay, I wasn't sure about that. I kept forgetting to ask. So, okay.
Yes,
so that was also in our shared books, I suppose.
But, Doug, I have two books that I really want to talk about. It's what you have written down here. Which one do you want to start with? I have no preference.
Well, let's talk about the finale of this series first. Let's talk about the Magic Order number 6, I suppose. So this is the last issue of this series from Mark Millar and Olivier Coipel. So we got the finale of this. We got the big bombshell in issue number 5 that spoilers, by the way, for all these books we're about to talk about. Thank you. That was very kind of Latin sounding this week.
Oi!
Yeah. Let's put a damper on that one. Anyways, so we got the twist that their brother was actually on the side of the villains, the one who got out of the game, and we learned kind of why this issue, or did we learn why last issue?
We did not.
Okay, so he's trying to bring his daughter back because his daughter died in an accident related to them being wizards or whatever. So he's trying to resurrect her. And so we got the final showdown between Cordelia and she's the only character whose name I can remember. I know they're the Moonstones.
I love the name Cordelia Moonstone. I think it's so awesome, like magic-y.
Oh yeah, she has Yeah, she has a fantastic name. The other ones, I don't know what their names are. But anyways, so we got the big showdown between them. Lots of magic, lots of fighting, lots of people's heads exploding. And how did you think this was as a finale to this little 6-issue series?
This was a fantastic finale. I mean, I really enjoyed the part where he's like, "Yeah, I'm on the side of the evil person because she said that she could bring back my daughter, and the only way to do this is to murder all of you." And Cordelia, correct? Cordelia is like, "Well, my father always told me not to read." What was the book?
The Orichalcum.
Yes, not to read that. So I read it back to front, or front to back. And that was great, because then the evil woman's like, "Oh, shit." And
yeah, people got fucked up.
Yeah, her plan was like completely ruined at that point. And the sister...
I didn't think that bit specifically was a little bit of a cop-out.
Yes.
Really?
To be honest.
I agree.
The resurrection of all of the family members who died, especially considering the thing that was at stake here, kind of, that was driving their brother to be the villain, was that he wanted to find a way to resurrect his daughter, and she so flippantly just brings back all of their dead family members.
Yeah.
Like, they could have easily solved all this by her also bringing back
It's one of those, like...
It's just like, they did this with, like, no effort in just this, and then, like, someone even points it out. They're like, you can't do that without a sacrifice. And so then, all of the people who just got resurrected, like, kill a bunch of villains, and so that, I guess, counts as the sacrifice. It all that whole bit felt a little wonky.
I wasn't even thinking about it that way, but
they give him the...
Well, the thing I think is that it just kind of diminishes the importance of all their deaths from the rest of the series.
Yes.
Like, this whole time, like, we've been seeing people die, and it's like, oh shit, that guy died. Oh shit, the father died? Oh shit, it's like, oh, they're all back and it's all okay, and people are gonna die.
Yeah, and it was kind of this narrowing down of, like, she was the hero that you never would have expected from the beginning, because she was the kind of, like, black sheep of the family. She, like, kind of the screw up, and then, like, we're reconnected with the guy who got out, and he turns out to be this amazing wizard, and the brother has always kind of been in it more than her, and the dad's, like, this big, like, actually great wizard, and, like, so they slowly get whittled down to her, and the brother turns out to be evil, and so it kind of felt like this really great dramatic moment that she was being pushed into this, and then, like, oh, all right, they're all back in again. I don't know. I was kind of frustrated by
I
that
didn't really even think that they were back in, the people that she resurrected, that they were back in for good. I thought it was kind of like a show.
They're alive in the end of the book.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see that. It would have been better if they were just sort of like, she conjured spirits to, like, help her out of the situation. That would have
that would have been a fun
so maybe we should live in your brain where like that's how it happened.
Yeah, but you guys just ruined it for me. So.
I'm sorry. No, but I mean, on a moment-to-moment basis,
I didn't dislike it on the whole. I just thought that
on a moment-to-moment basis, I really enjoyed it. I thought just how it was, like, choreographed and how it, like, was blocked, like the whole scene, how it was written. I was really, it was awesome. I thought it was great, and I thought that guy, like, murdering the shit out of the other person when they're at the house or whatever. Just
Yes. Oh, yes. That was a really fun reveal. So cool. The
Uncle Edgar,
Uncle
right?
Albert?
I think it's Edgar.
Yeah, anyway, the uncle figure who lives in their magical castle in this other dimension, turns out he's actually, like, imprisoned there because he's this, like, terrible wizard, terrible as in, like, super powerful.
So, like, I don't think there are any problems with, like, how it, like, the craft of issue by issue, but how this issue commented on the rest of them, I didn't necessarily like.
Well, what I talked about with Jack is that I think reading this monthly was kind of difficult because I forgot a lot of the characters and the stuff about them. I'd like to read it all just, at the same time so I can remember, because, like, even the uncle, I forgot who he even was. Yeah. I was like, who's this guy?
I think Doug said that Mark Millar very commonly writes for trade, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Mark Millar writes a book that is hyper serialized in a way that it almost always reads better in trade. I am too impatient, and I like being part of the conversation as the information comes out, so I read them in issue format. But like the stuff that I've read all at once, I've almost always understood more, at least. But this was still very fun to follow in issues, but like you definitely probably benefit someday from reading it all at once.
Do you think, like, based on the other Mark Millar stuff that I've read, this is one of my favorite things by him? Like, what would you say? How would it rank in terms of Mark Millar stuff with you?
Like overall, just stuff I've read. It's one of the better recent things I've read from him. My favorite stuff from him is his Jupiter's Legacy stuff, which is I believe he's still making another volume of those. He goes back and forth between doing volumes of the core series Jupiter's Legacy and then this prequel series called Jupiter's Circle. But they're a superhero series, but it's
awesome.
Very good.
I'm excited to read that someday. But Doug, we had another book that I really want to talk about, though. Can we talk about it? Can we talk about Gideon Falls, please?
Yes. Let's fucking talk about Gideon Falls. I want to start off Holy shit.
With something that doesn't involve any hyperbole whatsoever. This issue of Gideon Falls is one of my favorite comics that I've ever read.
It's on a purely artistic level, on a pure like sequential storytelling kind of level, just looking at the art, it is one of the more impressive single issues I've seen. Just looking at Andrea Sorrentino's art, like it's just an absolute masterclass in horror, in surreal storytelling, in like
I'm flipping through this, and when you flip through, it looks like it should be nonsense, but when you're reading, the way the image leads your eyes and the way the reading leads your eyes is just fucking perfect. And
there are layouts in this book that shouldn't
but they
work. There are. I'm looking at a page here with the sequence that it leads your eyes around in is a giant spiral, and you're expected to read dialogue in that order, and it doesn't. And it just fucking works. There's pages where they're walking around upside down, and people are different sizes, even though they're not technically supposed to be different sizes in the scene with each other. And it's an absolutely stunning book on an art
My
level.
favorite part of this book was maybe, I don't know if this is the climax necessary, but when this big fucking cockroach thing
comes out of the Norton.
Mm-hmm.
Comes out of the Norton's back, the old, the mustache Norton. Mustache Norton. He's talking to talk to him.
Mustache Norton.
Okay, so there's a big, basically the full page is this cockroach looking back at us, or whatever bug it is. And then you have another page on the other side of the cockroach, putting its legs on either side of the Norton's head. And then we get Norton speaking with the legs going into his mouth, and then turning the page, and that being where this image comes from. And this is us kind of figuring out that, it's a demon speaking through Norton, basically. I just think that revelation, the way it's doled out here, is fucking I had this sigh of just oh. I don't know. That was my experience of the page.
It's a really weird sequence, this bug crawling out of his back and doing all that, and the way in which you follow the exact sequence of how that happens is so it shouldn't be as clear as it is. And it is. You understand every little moment of that whole thing, and it builds this anticipation and this kind of horror building up to it, and it's so good.
What would you say, Samantha? I don't know. Would you say it's more difficult or easier to we were just talking about how easy it is. I don't know. Having this be some of our first stories that we've read. We started reading this near the beginning, and I don't know, the way it's developed, like even the difference between how this one is laid out as opposed to the other previous issues that took place mainly in the Black Barn, like, I don't know, this one was just less nonsensical. Like, what do you think? I don't know.
I don't think it was less nonsensical. I think it was just, I thought all of them were wonderful. I don't know.
I don't know, that other issue where they were in the Black Barn also kind of blew me away. I'm curious to go back and see how it compares to this one, or if I must have had a similar reaction. I remember thinking that one was incredible.
I think this one was a lot more like less happened, and it was just like a big reveal of something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And so it wasn't like a million different things happened. It was just, this is the reveal. And I love the page where the beetle is putting his legs into Norton's mouth, and you see one side our original Norton, and the other side the priest guy's reaction.
Yeah.
It's just, it's very well laid out in an artistic way that's super understandable.
Yes. Yeah, that's kind of the craziest thing.
Because you look at it and it's like,
it
looks like kind of like a collage that someone would do, and your first glance you're like, I don't know what's going on. But when you read it with that art, it works so perfectly.
Like, a lot of times when people try to get this
abstract,
surreal, this kind of abstract, and like experimental with their layouts, it just, like, a lot of times it gets very hard to follow, and sometimes that it can be at the detriment of kind of your understanding and your enjoyment, and even kind of like in the case of this being a horror book, like it could have worked against the sense of fear in this book. And instead it works entirely to its benefit, and you understand everything that's happening. It's the art, like the absolute kind of like mastery over the form in the art in this issue is, and I feel like I am being a little hyperbolic now, but like it's very well considered art, and it's very well constructed in a way that like allows it to be that crazy and surreal and experimental, and yet still function as a work of sequential storytelling.
Absolutely. Moving into like the ending of the story, like, first of all, I don't know, before we get to the end, like, situations of where these characters are now, which is interesting, I also love this page of them falling through these lines of the page where they're,
I'm looking at that right now.
Like, the detail is put into each one of these little boxes, and just them like drowning in and I don't know, deconstruction of their character and stuff like that. I don't know. I feel like this is supposed to mean shit, but then those little panels slowly dissipating on the next 2-page splash into fucking white.
Yeah. Also, conversely to how much I love the art in this issue, I don't want to look at Father Fred's face and body anymore. It's upsetting looking.
You mean the getting split down the middle kind of thing?
Yeah, specifically his nose and chin. I really don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm not talking from a moral, like, storytelling standpoint. It's
aesthetically unpleasing.
That's the goal.
It's icky, and I don't want to look at it.
I mean, you're right. That is the goal. Yeah, for sure.
It's definitely why they did it. It's
definitely
upsetting in a way it shouldn't be, but
yeah. What do you think about where these characters are just, I guess, switched now?
Yeah, and I think what we're implying here is somehow there's some sort of like multiple realities thing happening here.
I think Norton's world and Father Fred's world don't exist on the same plane or something.
Yeah, I don't think they're just swapping places in cities. No. I think they're literally, because they have that page. I forgot, they have that page where they show like actual Norton, old Norton, in front of all these different visions of Gideon.
Yes.
So I think the city that Norton lives in must also be some version of Gideon Falls.
Do you remember earlier in this series where I told you that both of them are living in a city called Gideon Falls, and you said I was wrong?
I don't remember that, but sure. It seems like a thing I would have done. But
fuck you, Doug. I'm just kidding. But yeah. No, yeah. They're just switched realities seemingly. And Daniel, I hope this is Daniel. I don't know. I hope that gets has some conversation with it, like how he maybe hopes let's go find Father Fred. Maybe everyone else is just okay, whatever.
Well, I'm assuming this is what happened to him at some point. Is he got maybe switched, maybe not, but he got sent to this other reality at some point. And now he's been sent back, is my guess. But who knows?
But I'm really excited to see how it continues. I think the end of the arc is the next issue. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh my god. Yeah. Jeff Lemire, same guy that writes fucking Terrifics, fucking Royal City, Black Hammer. He's just, man, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's nuts. Okay. Doug, what else is there? I'm interested to see, because we also read Outer Darkness. I'm interested to hear what you thought of it, because you gave me a little clue that you had a different reaction than we did.
I don't know that I have a ton to say about it. it sounded like you really you liked this issue more than you'd like the previous issues, correct?
I love this issue.
I'm starting to kind of get tired of this. I
thought this was super different though. Than the other ones.
I'm tired of... This was interesting in that I liked learning about this other character. I'm frustrated with the direction they're going with the captain here. In that, I suppose maybe that's kind of the turn here, is that this is a series where I'm hoping that is a turn they're making, and they're not going to go back to just telling stories about the captain like they had in previous issues, where he's supposed to be this unlikable protagonist because he's really starting to become unlikable.
I thought he's always been
unlikable.
Yeah.
I thought he's always been really unlikable.
He was unlikable, but he was at least a sort of entertaining unlikable. And I thought the turn coming was that he's unlikable, but he's unlikable for a reason, because he's the only one who's been out here, and so he's preparing them or whatever. But it's starting to feel no, he's just kind of a dick and everyone hates him.
Yeah.
And this issue felt more like that than any of the previous ones, and maybe that's on purpose. And
I think it's on purpose because it's from the viewpoint of,
I suppose,
people who work on the ship.
I really hope that that's driving towards something where he comes around, or something happens where they overthrow him or mutiny or whatever. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really interested. I can see what you're saying. It can get a little tiring.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think whenever I'm reading him being a dick, I just think it's cool that he's being a dick, because you don't
Elox, it leads more towards he's gonna snap.
Yeah, seriously.
He used to be, and he used to just murder, be a murder's ruler and everything. He's gonna snap.
Yeah.
So when this captain's being a dick, it's kind of all right, okay, keep doing that. We'll see what happens.
Maybe.
Yeah. I'm just, I think time will tell kind of how I feel about it. I'm going to keep reading it. I'm not dropping it or anything. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about revealing that one of these crew members used to be a god. Okay.
Okay, I don't know. I'm excited. I thought this was a step up. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. What else was there? Do you have any information about Detective Comics, the end reveal of this character?
Let me refresh my memory.
We talked in this issue of Detective Comics a lot about Jason Blood and Eshkin the Demon, which was fun stuff. Great. I actually didn't know Jason...
Oh, no, I have nothing. I have nothing about this last page.
Oh, he's just a childish-looking Bruce Wayne kind of thing?
I think it's I don't know what this means, but it looks like a child Bruce Wayne in a Batman suit.
What if it's the Gotham TV show version of Batman?
Oh, God.
I think that'd be so funny.
I'm assuming it's some alternate universe version of him, or it's another trick by whoever is actually behind this. Which seems more likely, but I don't know. But it also kind of does feel like it's somehow the ultimate reveal of the villains, you know? Like this is the real one, but I don't know. So maybe it is just an alternate Bruce Wayne. I don't know.
Who knows? Okay. Well, there's not so much else.
It looks hilarious.
It does look hilarious.
I want to say that.
I feel like they should have had him petting a cat in his lap. Just hello, Bruce.
Mm-hmm. How did you enjoy Etrigan in this issue?
Etrigan was fun. He was, there rhyming. I was going to say, I didn't know about Jason Blood, really. I guess I didn't really know that he was with a human. I don't know.
He's in the same body. It's like a more controlled Hulk scenario.
Yeah.
Or more like the Spectre. Have you read anything with the Spectre in it?
Nothing except for Crisis on Infinite Earths, and he was already outside of body.
Anyways, Etrigan lives in he's like bound to Jason Blood's body, and so he like calls him out with that rhyme this rhyme. I don't even. He says the like go away rhyme, but I don't know if he ever says the like.
Well, I thought it sounded like he couldn't control him coming out that time. Like he had to come out because there was something that was calling him over or something, right?
Yeah. I don't remember.
All right. Well, whatever. That continues to be fun. I'm excited for the landmark 1000 issue. But yeah, Doug, we got a lot of really fun things coming out next week too, right?
Yeah.
I'm really excited
got a bunch.
For like Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It's going to be great. We got
yes.
Yeah, I'm really pumped. We got like Justice League number 17. I believe it's 17. I think it's 17. I'm pretty sure. Like 99% sure it's 17.
Let me check while you're talking.
We also got Naomi number 2, which I'm glad we read.
Yeah,
so
I'm excited about it.
That's coming out.
I am excited for that book.
Venom number 11. I'm excited because I'm getting the Dave Gibbons cover for this one.
Nice.
Very
okay. Justice League is number 18.
Damn it. Okay. Number 18. We have Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man by Tom Taylor, the aforementioned, number 3. Then we have 3 new ones, one of which I put on here, 2 of which you put on here. We got this one called High Level number 1 coming out. I don't recognize the writers or anything like that. I think I put it on here because I was interested in the art. Is that why?
It says... So, wait. So who's the writer on this?
Rob Sheridan, co-creator of Nine Inch Nails.
9 Inch Nails.
Groundbreaking years.
The music?
Interesting.
Alternate reality games.
Yes.
Wow.
That's kind of weird.
Interesting.
Cool.
Wait, I don't know why I put this on here. I think I probably put it on here because it was interesting art. I'm not sure. But
we'll look more into it.
Yeah, why did you put... What are these other ones? I think I've heard of Sharky the Bounty Hunter.
So Sharky the Bounty Hunter, speaking of Mark Millar this episode, is Mark Millar's new series, or one of them. Anyways, art by Simone Bianchi, who I've heard her name before. I cannot recall if I've read something with her art. I probably have. I don't know. Anyways, it is it says a quote brilliant new sci-fi universe.
Oh, brilliant!
Which sounds like it. Mark Millar wrote this. It's illicit. It says he's a blue-collar bounty hunter who tracks criminals across the galaxy, and he's in his converted rocket-powered ice cream truck.
Huh.
He's aided and abetted by his 10-year-old partner. He's out for the biggest bounty of his career. I don't know. It sounds like a ridiculous Mark Millar sci-fi book. So I'm probably going to at least check it out.
I don't know about that one for me.
Sounds cool.
Okay. It sounds cool.
I want to check it out.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
We'll see. We also have Stronghold, which I know nothing about. I didn't even see this.
So this, I picked this up based on the solicit text, the pitch here. So this is by Phil Hester and Ryan Kelly. It says our planet is actually a prison designed to both trap and shelter an amnesiac alien entity of incalculable power. Now known as Michael Gray, this cosmic angel of destruction currently believes himself to be an ordinary Midwestern insurance underwriter who belongs to a global secret society dedicated to making sure he never discovers the truth about his past. There's a whole bunch of other shit in here. It sounds bonkers. It says a tale of cosmic horror, high adventure, and tragic romance. So, sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, but I'm not so sure I'm going to get all these. Like, I don't know about all these new issues. Any of these, really. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. In terms of the future of Comics Covered, I just want to set up a discussion point that that I think is really, really interesting. With all this talk about, like, we saw a lot of art yesterday, in terms of comics at the Comic-Con that we went to. And it got me thinking, what would classical painters from before the 1900s, what would their works look like if they were drawing comics and comic superheroes and stuff like that? Mm-hmm. So I wanted us to think about that this week and to come back with an idea of what artist, what classical painter, I'm talking about Picasso, Van Gogh, fucking El Greco from South America.
Can we do people from just pre-1950?
Pre-1950? Okay. Do you have something in mind?
Could you do Picasso?
Is Picasso 1900s?
Yes.
Oh, well, okay. Pre-1950. The classic, those guys.
Sure. Yeah. I think this is a very fun question. A Big Two character, probably.
Yeah, and someone that's known. What would their book look like?
Yeah, what pairing would you like to see between, who would you like to, do you want to see Van Gogh do a Flash book or whatever, you know? We'll come back with thoughts on those. I think that's a weird, fun question.
And we might learn more about artists from that day and age. I want to look up what they did, what kind of styles they did. What would that look like I don't know, look at a bunch of their art and say I'd like to see something like this with this character. That'd be sick. But yeah, cool. So that's what I want to do. But I think that's gonna about do it for this week, at least. If you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. We're still new, even at age 64. But the absolute biggest thing you can do for us, nonetheless, if you like the show, is give us a review or star rating on iTunes. And if you enjoyed what you heard, let someone know about us with your mouth or your mouse. We release episodes weekly on Sundays, just like today. But be sure to check. It's a holiday. Get over it, guys. Be sure to check back in next week, or better yet, subscribe to the podcast feed and never have to think about it. Excuse me, Doug, before you go in. Valuable content. Samantha, can you say that, please?
Valuable content?
To the mic.
Valuable content.
Thank you. Thank you.
You've triggered my ASMR here.
Oh!
Ooh. Yep. Okay,
is that coming through?
Let me flip some pages.
Ooh. I told the people that we give them valuable content at the end here, so they don't just turn it off before the sign off.
It is pretty valuable.
It's valuable content.
Yeah, it is.
And now we're starting ASMR, which is fun.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Cool. You can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music. We're on Spotify. Pretty much any podcast app you prefer, we've got you covered. In the meantime, before the next episode, which will hopefully happen on actual Sunday this next week, on Twitter and Facebook, that's at Comics Covered on Twitter. That is facebook.com/comicscovered. You can send us a message on there if you want to get a hold of us. You can also find web archives of all our episodes at comicscovered.libsyn.com. That's LIBSYN.com. That's our podcast provider. Or host, I should say, not provider. If you want to get a hold of us, send us a message on social media. Thank you so much for listening. I'm
Samantha.
What?
Oh, I'm Doug. Sorry.
Wait.
I'm Doug.
Oh, wow.
Doug, now you say I'm Samantha.
I'm a Lord of Order, like in Justice League Dark.
Oh,
nice, Doug. I mean, I've smelt your socks before, and I think you're a Lord of Odor.
Oh.
Wow. Sick burn.
Sick burn. I think so, at least. I mean, you're just a smelly person in general, and I hate you.
Jesus.
And I'm Jack.
Got real here today.
Sorry. I'm just kidding. This is the valuable content, Doug. I'm trying to give it to the people. But I'm Jack also. I'm not mean. And this has been Comics Covered.
All right. Thanks for listening.